Shahryar fell in love with Neelam at first sight, but he had no idea that the girl he kept encountering on deserted paths had, in fact, been buried long ago. Shahryar was a young man from a poor family. He was handsome, but his household was burdened with hardship. One day, his father suddenly passed away, leaving behind 5 younger siblings. Shahryar, being the eldest, became the man of the house. His mother was distressed about how they would survive, but Shahryar consoled her, assuring her that he would take on the responsibility. Only 20 years old, Shahryar began working at a mechanic's shop. The shop opened at 2 p.m. and closed at 2 a.m. Most nights, he would return home late. His employer was a strict man, who made him work excessively and often scolded him. Despite all the hard work, Shahryar was paid very little. Their house was rented, his siblings were very young, and his mother was observing at a mourning period. It was difficult to make ends meet. Many times, Shahryar went to work without breakfast. That night, at 2 a.m., he again approached his employer, requesting an advance. But the employer flatly refused, saying, "Didn't I give you a superscript 1,000 just last week? I'll deduct that from this week's pay." Disheartened, Shahryar walked home. There was no food at home. He imagined placing some money in his mother's hands and seeing her smiley. This thought brought tears to his eyes. As he walked home, he passed through his usual route dark, lonely, surrounded by bushes and trees, passing through a forest to reach home. It was a long, eerie path. A deserted graveyard also lay nearby, known to be haunted by spirits. But Shahryar had gotten used to it. He never felt afraid. But that night, something strange happened. Just a few steps ahead, he noticed a car parked on the side. It surprised him. What was a car doing there in the middle of nowhere at this hour? As he got closer, he was stunned to see a beautiful girl standing beside it. She had long, flowing hair and wore an intoxicating fragrance that lingered in the air. The girl looked worried, and the car's headlights were on. He approached her and said, "You seem troubled. Can I help you?" She replied, "Yes, my car broke down, and I'm scared being stuck here alone." Shahryar quickly offered to help. "I'm a mechanic. Let me check your car." Within minutes, he fixed the issue. It was a minor engine problem. The girl was delighted and thanked him warmly. Then she asked, "Where are you headed?" "I'll drop you." The road was long and he was tired, so he agreed. As he sat in the car, the fragrance from her body was overwhelming, almost hypnotic. It was clear she belonged to a wealthy family. But what was a rich girl doing here, alone, in the middle of the night? She dropped him at his lane. As he was stepping out, she called him back. "You fixed my car. Please accept this." She handed him a bundle of cash. Shahryar refused. "I helped you as a fellow traveler. I can't accept money." She smiled and said, "You need this money." And before he could stop her, she forced the cash into his hands and drove away. Shahryar was stunned. He thought to himself, "I asked my boss for help, and he refused. But maybe this girl was an angel sent to help me." He handed the money to his mother, who was overjoyed. That money brought groceries home for the first time in days. Days passed. One night, as he walked through the same path, he again smelled that same sweet, strong fragrance. It struck him up. It was the same scent that came from that girl's presence. But tonight, no one was around. Still, the scent was so strong. He took a few more steps, and suddenly he heard the faint jingling of anklets like a girl walking behind him. When he turned, he was shocked to see the same girl walking slowly behind him, dressed in black. She smiled and said, "I've been waiting here just for you." Shahryar was stunned. Why would such a rich and beautiful girl wait for him? She looked happy to see him. Then she said, "I really like you. You're different from the world. Will you be my friend? I've been through a lot of sorrow." Shahryar was shocked. Why would a girl like her want to befriend someone like him? But he replied sincerely, "Of course, if you need a friend like me, I'd be honored." The girl looked delighted. "Come with me. I want to take you to a nearby river. It's not far." Shahryar hesitated. It was late, and he wanted to go home. But she had helped him on Sia and now she was offering friendship. He didn't want to refuse. They walked to the river together. The girl wore black clothes that seemed even more mysterious in the dark. Her hair flowed down to her knees, and instead of beauty, Shahryar began to feel a strange sense of fear. The jingling of her anklets in the silence of the forest was eerie. At the riverbank, she kept staring at the moon. Then she turned to him and said, "My house is not far. I live alone. Years ago, I left my family. I'm very lonely now." Shahryar was shocked. "How can a girl live alone in a forest like this?" he asked nervously. "Why do you live here? There's no one around for miles." She smiled mysteriously and said, "I find peace in this forest. My house is just nearby. I have wealth, but I needed a friend, and now I've found Onia and you." They talked under the moonlight for a long time. Eventually, Shahryar said he needed to leave. She smiled and allowed him to go. Just as he was about to leave, he turned and asked, "You never told me your name." "What's your name?" With a smile, she replied, "My name is Neelam." That night, Shahryar returned home thinking only of Neelam. He was lying in bed, smiling, wondering how such a beautiful girl could live alone in a forest. But he liked her and Neelam had touched his heart. With those thoughts, he drifted into sleep. But suddenly, in the middle of the night, his younger siblings started screaming. They had woken up terrified. His mother was frightened too and asked them what happened. His little brother said, "I just saw a girl with very long hair. She looked terrifying." His mother was shocked. Shahryar laughed and said, "They must have had a bad dream." But his mother couldn't shake the feeling of why were all her children so scared tonight. Slowly, her entire being was turning dark, but her face still remained beautiful. Just then, thunder rumbled in the sky, and a black cloud drifted in front of the moon, turning its light into darkness. Neelam suddenly ran toward the ruins and said, "I'll come to meet you later. It's time for me to leave." She disappeared inside the ruins while Shahryar stood frozen, watching in astonishment. He wondered where Neelam could have gone inside. "I must find her," he thought. But as he stepped into the ruins to look for her, he was shocked that Neelam was nowhere to be found. He kept calling out for her, but no matter how much he tried, she didn't appear. He had no idea which dark corner she had hidden in. Disheartened, Shahryar returned home. But soon, strange changes began happening in his house. The pantry was full of groceries. His younger siblings had started going to school, wearing nice clothes, and his mother appeared happier and more energetic than ever before. Seeing all these positive changes, Shahryar asked his mother in surprise, "How is all this happening?" His mother, with a mysterious smile, replied, "Whatever is happening is good, my son. Don't you know, every morning after you leave for work, when I lift your bedding, I find thousands of rupees under it. Our circumstances have changed drastically. It feels like God himself has taken our hand." Shahryar was left speechless. He liked the changes but was deeply puzzled. How was all this even possible? Earlier, his siblings used to be afraid, often saying there was a girl's shadow in the house. Sometimes, she even appeared in front of his mother. But now, they weren't scared anymore. In fact, they seemed happy. Day by day, Shahryar's life improved. Several days passed, but Neelam didn't come to meet him. Now, Shahryar was growing desperate to see her. Eventually, his longing drove him back to the ruins to look for her. It was midnight. Silence and loneliness blanketed everything. Though he felt fear while passing the graveyard, his desire to meet Neelam pushed him forward. Standing in the ruins, he called out, "Where have you gone, Neelam? Look, you made me your friend and left the story incomplete. I've come to see you, your friend, Shahryar." Suddenly, a voice echoed from inside the ruins, "Go back, Shahryar. I cannot come in front of you. I carry a truth, a secret, and if you find out, you'll begin to hate me." Shahryar was stunned. "What secret? Tell me. I promise you, no matter what it is, I will never hate you."